wondered what makes the difference between a stressful waiting room experience and one that leaves families actually looking forward to their next visit?
Oh, absolutely. It's fascinating how the right environment can completely transform what's typically seen as a mundane or even anxiety-inducing experience into something positive.
Right. And speaking of transformations, I've seen some amazing changes in waiting rooms lately, especially in terms of keeping kids engaged. What's your take on the biggest challenges businesses face in creating these kid friendly spaces?
Well, I think the main challenge is finding that sweet spot between entertainment and practicality. You've got to consider things like cleaning protocols, durability, and safety, while still making the space engaging enough to actually keep kids interested.
That makes a ton of sense. You know what I'm curious about? How much daily staff time do you think these spaces actually require for maintenance?
That's a great question. The key is choosing the right equipment from the start. With commercial-grade products that have easy-to-clean surfaces, staff can actually maintain these areas pretty efficiently. You're looking at quick wipe-downs between uses and maybe a more thorough cleaning at the end of the day.
That's a great point. We'll come back to that in just a moment. But first, a quick word from our sponsor.
At Little People's Cove, we believe every child deserves a welcoming space built just for them. Our commercial grade furniture and toys are engineered to endure high traffic while exceeding safety standards. From pediatric clinics to libraries, we help create engaging environments that spark curiosity and support development. Visit littlepeoplescove.com to transform your waiting area today.
Now, speaking of safety standards, what about medical offices that serve immunocompromised children? That's got to be a special consideration, right?
Absolutely. And it's such an important point. For these sensitive environments, you want to focus on non-porous materials that can be thoroughly sanitized. You know, things like sensory wall panels with smooth surfaces that can be easily disinfected between uses.
I see. And what about the actual setup? Are there specific types of toys or arrangements that work better in these situations?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. The trend is moving toward mounted or fixed elements like sensory wall panels rather than loose toys that could be dropped or shared between multiple children. This helps control the spread of germs while still providing engaging activities.
Makes sense. How about the developmental benefits? I mean, we're not just talking about keeping kids busy, right?
Oh man, you've hit the nail on the head there. These spaces can actually support everything from fine motor skills to cognitive development. Like, when kids interact with sensory panels, they're building hand-eye coordination, problem-solving skills, and even social abilities when they play together.
That's fascinating. And I imagine this must have some pretty significant benefits for the parents, too?
You bet! When kids are genuinely engaged, parents can actually focus on forms or conversations with staff without having to constantly entertain their children. It's a win-win situation.
I've noticed some waiting rooms are creating different zones for different age groups. What's your take on that approach?
That's a really smart strategy, actually. Toddlers need different types of stimulation than older kids, so having dedicated spaces helps prevent conflicts and ensures everyone gets age-appropriate activities.
And what about rotation systems? I've heard some places are implementing those.
Yeah, that's becoming more popular. Even the most engaging toys can get boring over time, especially for regular visitors. By rotating different activities quarterly, you keep the space fresh and interesting while also allowing for thorough maintenance.
For our listeners who might be considering upgrading their waiting areas, what would you say are the three most important factors to consider?
Great question. I'd say safety first, making sure everything meets or exceeds industry standards. Second would be durability. These items need to handle constant use. And third, developmental value, choosing items that actually contribute to children's growth and learning.
Wow, this has been incredibly informative. Any final thoughts for our listeners?
Yeah, I think the key takeaway is that waiting rooms don't have to be dreary, anxiety-inducing spaces. With thoughtful design and the right equipment, they can actually become valuable spaces for learning and development.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today. For our listeners who want to learn more about creating child friendly waiting spaces, you can visit littlepeoplescove.com. Thanks for listening, everyone.